everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Subscription Boxes and More with Michelle. And what do I have here? Well, I have something that would have ended up in the landfill. This came from my local Dollar General store. I saw it in their thing of boxes where they were putting stuff out on the shelves, and they had boxes that they were getting rid of, and I asked the lady who manages the store, who's a good friend of mine, if I could have this box. Well, she gave me this one and a couple more, but we're going to start with this one. We're going to DIY this into something that we can store, store some crafting supplies and things in. This will, it's supposed to stay like that, but it's wanting to pop up. Anyways, these little bins have a lip here, so that makes it really nice. And it's got this area here that we can write something like, I don't know, farm fresh or something, you know, farm related, or farmer's market or something. But then under here on this part, we could put, you know, what's in each one, something like that. We could just write tools, we could, crafts, I don't know, arts and crafts. I mean, you know, we could, the sky is pretty much the limit. What was this? Naturally friendly, hello, finally personal care that rocks. 24-hour odor protection, aluminum free. Apparently this was for some kind of deodorant. Well, now it is for my stuff. Alright, so what am I going to do? Well, I'll get this out of my face so that you can see. I'm going to actually take some white acrylic paint. I'm going to start out by giving it a couple coats of white paint, and then I may cover some of it with this wood grained paper, you know, to give it a little, you know, something, break up the white possibly. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. And then we're going to maybe do some sticker letters or some, you know, or write it on or stencil it on. I'm not sure yet. We will do something and see what we can do with this. We are going to do some painting. I'm going to lay this down so it's not in front of your face and my face. Get this paper out of the way because we don't need it yet. Well, you know something, I may actually cover it first with the paper because that will save me on paint. There's no point in painting something that I'm going to then cover with paper, right? Are you with me on that? So I think that maybe, what I'm going to do, because I have quite a bit of that, it came from the Retail Rebel for like 50 cents one day. And it's like a contact paper. I think I may do like all the edge with it and then use the white paint on these parts, but then I think I may leave the blue showing because I think that will go all right with the white and this wood grain having the blue as an accent, because you know I kind of have that blue going on with the whole black and white vibe anyways. Here's some double-sided tape. Let's use that and use it on the inside and hope it stays. I don't want to be all day about it. I want to move on to the fun stuff. This also came from the Retail Rebel on a 50-cent day. It was down in the bin, and I said, yeah, as long as that stuff sticks, I can use that all day. You know, I'm always needing some kind of adhesive. Let's see if we can get that to stick down, if I can get the end of it. Come on, come off. All right. I think this will work, at least temporarily. Hopefully it'll hold forever. I don't know. I might do it on the other side as well, the other piece like this, just so it doesn't eventually pop up and get in my way when I'm trying to store stuff. This one it seems like it wants to stay home, or that one. You know what? I'm not sure I need to do that because that one's actually holding. I don't know why that one didn't, but now it did. And now we have a nice opening. All right, let's figure out this stuff, shall we? And I don't think we need to cover that back with this either. You know, it would just be a waste of the paper because the back of it is going to be, hanging. It's going to be hanging on a wall, and the back of it's going to be against the wall. So we probably don't need that. But I am popping out these little, I'll show you. Hang on. there's these little things that I'm going to use as a place to hang it. Shell, why don't you just show the good people how not to do things? Don't use your scissors to pry things and then jab yourself. Nobody ever accused me of being brilliant. Alright, so anyways, I popped these little things out on the back because I'm going to use it here and here so that I can put it on nails and hold it real good and secure so that when it's full, it doesn't go falling off the wall. Alright, let's figure out this stuff, shall we? Now, because this has sort of got like kind of a chevron kind of pattern, can you see that? You kind of want to probably be careful how you cut this and make sure that you get things going the same direction. And you know what? The neat thing is that this line seems to be right about where I need to cut this. So that's going to help me cut it straight as well. That's nifty. I think I can cut right along that line. Let's hope. If, you know, we'll see. If we waste anything, it'll be one little section, and I could probably use it on a different project eventually. So I'm only going to cut one just to make sure I'm correct in my eyeball measurement there. I think it should be just about wide enough. I hope it's wide enough, because that will make things a lot more convenient and a lot quicker. You know, you need to look around. Our landfills are filling up so fast with all of the junk that we people make. I saw this and I saw its potential. And we need to kind of have an eye out for things that we can repurpose and recycle and, you know, upcycle and, you know. So, got it from the backing. I should have made sure it fit before I peeled that off, but I think it's going to work. I need to overlap on the bottom and make sure I've got it straight along this side. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but unfortunately I kind of got to see what I'm doing. So I just gave it a little overhang here so that when I put the bottom piece, I can overlap it a little bit so that, you know, hopefully the corners will look neater. Well, I'm a little short, so I'm having a little trouble lining this up because I need to be standing, I think. I was trying to keep my face in the frame, but I'm afraid that's not going to be all that possible and still be able to see what I'm doing. The good thing about this contact paper stuff is it is repositionable. So if you get a bubble, you can pull it up and smooth it down, get the bubbles out. And then if you have a brayer, you can really, what I do have, I could use this, except it's a little flexible, a little more flexible than I would like, but I'm pushing the air bubbles out with it. We don't want a bunch of air bubbles. That wraps around a little more than I wanted. But I'm going to paint that part anyways. Alright, so put this over the end. This will also help give the box more structure. Where did I put my scissors? Under everything, I'm sure. Yep. And then I'm going to give this just a little bit of an angled cut so I can get a nice clean corner. Yep. So I was right that if I cut along that edge, or that line, that I can, that's just right. I mean, I couldn't have planned that any better. I actually had a different patterned paper I was thinking of using, and then I thought, well, no, I'm going to use that wood one. This has got more on it. And I have more than one box to do, and I want them to match. Not realizing that that was going to work out like that. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to go all the way around that edge. And then, like I said, I'm going to paint this part, you know, and leave the inside blue, I think. Yeah, I think that might be interesting. All right, I'm going to keep going with this. If you save this, if you have stickers that say come off the backing, and you know, it's very hard to line the sticker back up around the cut piece. If you keep, this is called release paper, and what it is basically is like a wax paper that is a little better for stickers, because wax paper, the wax can peel off easily. This is a little more sturdy. If you keep some release paper around, you don't have to keep all of it, but a couple pieces of it, and just stick it in your, just fold it up and stick it in your craft stash somewhere. And then when you do have stickers that come off and you're like, oh, I can't line that back up, it's going to stick, it's going to ruin it. You stick it on here, the sticker's great until you use it. And, you know, you don't use the release paper, throw it away. But just a little tip for you. It is a really handy thing to have in your craft room for when things like that happen. Anyway, I'm going to just match up this sheet, this piece, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera so that you don't have to sit here and watch me do this all day when it's all the same. And then once I have the box wrapped in this around the edges, then we'll come back and do a little painting, and but you will get the idea of what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to make myself some very cheap, mostly free, storage for my crafting supplies and organization, you know, stuff, because I need to be organized, because I am not organized. And the only thing cost, these little paints cost $1. This paper cost me 50 cents. Of course, it'd be more than that if I didn't have a retail Rebel, but you can find, sometimes you can find it at, you know, really cheap at your store. Sometimes I guess Dollar Trees have them, but also a lot of times you can find it in your thrift store where somebody bought too much or bought it and then never used it. All right, so as I was saying, you kind of want to make sure that you get your design going the same way. Otherwise, you're going to look at it later and say, well, that's a bit wonky. Things like that will get on my nerves. I don't know about you. They get on my nerves. All right. Let's see if I can line the lines up too. Not so much, but it'll give it kind of a chevron pattern. Let me see if I go this way, will it? No. Nope. Oh well, at least the lines will be going that. Hey, that was my phone. Actually, it's not going the same way. What am I doing? Let's go the other end. I love how they have a little bit of a lip there, and you're able to get the backing apart after you cut it. And if you can't, always just bend your corner down and that'll help it separate. This way? Nope, no way. There's no way, because it's chevron, and no matter what you do, you're going to have lines that go one way and lines that go the other way. There's no way to line this pattern up and make them go all one direction. Whoa. That's unfortunate, but that's all right. It's for storage. It's not for... We're not trying to win a prize. We're just, and I'm not taking this to the state fair and trying to win a blue ribbon. I'm just using it to store some crafting supplies. It's more important to get the edge lined up. Oh, come on now. This box is a little wonky. Well, I just knocked something else down. I don't know what that was. I think it was my coffee cup. Yes, it was. Luckily, there was no coffee left. Rarely is there coffee left. I like my coffee. My coffee has hot chocolate, sugar-free hot chocolate instead of mocha. It is some good stuff. One Splenda and sugar-free hot chocolate. Alright, so see? No way that I could get it going the same way. I did try. Take this over the top portion. Like I said, it's going to give this a little more structure, as well as, you know, just break up that it's not all going to be white. Give it a little more visual interest and give the box support and structure so that whatever weight I have in it over time doesn't cause the box to come apart, hopefully. right? Hopefully. Where'd my little thing go that I was using to press this down with? There it is. Just using that to push the bubbles out. Kind of cut a little bit of a V out of this. But then I'm pushing this part down instead of cutting it all the way off. I'm just pushing it down. And then to give it a little bit more of a like mitered corner. Okay. All right. I'm going to finish this part off camera and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. All right. So I've got all the edges covered. And now I'm going to paint. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I decided that the way that the box was put together here, that this portion, you know, these things could possibly come loose. So I tried, which doesn't make it look really good here. I wish I would have thought of that first because that could have been under this, but it was an afterthought. But because it's just going to be hanging in my studio for craft supplies, nobody else is really going to see it. It doesn't matter. But for the next time, I would put that underneath the main portion of the paper so there wasn't some part of the pattern that, you know, that was covered up. And like, I don't think you can see it very well. You probably can see it a little bit on camera, but it's not terrible. The point is that it's there to try to keep these from coming loose. Okay, so anyways, I got some paint and I got a paintbrush, and I'm going to use a piece of this leaf paper that we were talking about as a palette. I'm going to turn this fan off so it doesn't blow my paint everywhere, my piece of paper, and I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to use it to brush on to new bottle. Well, okay. The seal is now inside the lid. It came off when I unscrewed the lid, so I'll just have to do it this way. Okay. It'll probably take a few coats to cover all of this, and that's all right because, you know, the paint was pretty cheap. So is this contact paper. It's not wanting to stick along the edge as well as I would like, but, you know, as I said, it's just to hang in here to put some light supplies in. Maybe some ribbon, some twine, you know, some small odds and ends and doodads. Really, Michelle? You just made a big old mess. Tissue! I wanted to leave the inside of that blue, and I tried to clean up the edge and made a mess. But that's alright. It wiped right off, which is probably not a very good sign for how well this is going to stick to this glossy cardboard, but you know, hopefully after we get a few coats on there, it'll stick all right. Hopefully. So I'm going to go around, and I should do a larger area. I just did this small bit. See it there? But I'm going to do like the strip across here so we can see what it's gonna do. And then I will paint. This is why I put on my apron. Of course, I just made this apron, so I really don't want to be flinging the paint onto it. But I was trying to keep it off of my good shirt. But now I'm like, but the shirt's kind of old. Would I rather mess up my shirt or my new apron that I just made? How about neither? But I'm sloppy. I don't mean to be, but I'm a messy person by nature. All right. I know you're not seeing what I'm doing real well, and I'm sorry because I just can't. I need to get one of those setups that some people or a lot of people that do DIYs do, and that's somehow they have a camera that hangs down from the top. So sometimes they're doing like a front camera, sometimes they're doing an overhead camera, and you know, they can switch back and forth in editing. Well, I don't have that kind of a budget, B, setup. Not even sure how to do it. But eventually, that's my plan. So that I can transition from one to the other more seamlessly, and you can see what I'm doing. For right now, we just have to make do, right? I think you can still get the idea, even though you can't actually see me real well, what I'm doing. All right, so there's a layer on there, and you can see the words right through that paint. But that's okay. It's more about getting the layer kind of smooth. All right. Sorry, I know it's probably boring to watch me paint. I'll probably fast forward so you're not like watching me. So see what I'm saying? So we're gonna have the wood grain, then we're gonna have the white paint, and we're gonna have the blue in the background. I think that's gonna look kind of neat. If it doesn't, we'll paint the blue background, but that's my plan. I'll come back when all this is covered, and you know, hopefully you can't see the writing anymore, and then we'll go into the next thing. Okay, so the paint that I was using, after 6 coats, it was still showing the letters underneath really badly. So instead of using this Rich Art Acryology acrylic white paint, which might be good for a lot of things, I went, but not this. I went to using my Waverly paint in plaster. Not quite as white, you know, plaster is a little bit of off-white, and I used it, and then I went over that with the Waverly, the clear, to seal it. So I do like how it looks with the blue in the background, you know, and then it's got the wood grain around the side, and the top, and the bottom. I think it's a neat contrast there. So, not sure, where did I put my letters? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is set up my letters. I was going to do like Farm Fresh or Farmer's Market or something like that, but I think that since I'm doing it in here and the purpose is to hold craft items, I think I might put like Get Crafty or something. However, I'm not sure these letters are a little larger than I thought they were. So I'm going to try to figure out by possibly if this is, it is. Okay. If I can get them apart. I'm going to try to pull these apart so that I can actually cut out the individual letters, sort of cut around them and place them without sticking them on and ruining the, you know, the sticky if I have to move them around a lot. So I'm going to pause you and I'm going to cut around these letters and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got them cut out. Sorry, I know that you can't really see too well. My setup here is not, I was doing a, while I was waiting for layers to dry, I was doing a diamond painting. I know that my arrangement isn't the best for you to see how I am placing things, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I need to get some kind of an overhead arrangement where I can have a camera facing down and one facing directly on, and then I can go back and forth between the cameras in editing, and so that you can get the best view of things. But right now, I have one camera, and we're gonna have to make do with that. All right, so I'm gonna see if these will fit because the letters are quite a bit larger. They're poster board size letters, and maybe that these are too big. I had smaller ones and I don't know where I put them. Why is it we put things where we quote won't lose them and promptly lose them? At least I do. So let's see, crafty, C-R-A, nope, F, okay. What if we, instead of trying to put both words across, I mean, you know, like straight across. What if I do 2 rows, put get above? That might work, right? Yeah, I think that's gonna work. All right. See, and this is why I cut them out first, so I could see how they were going to lay out. I don't think you can really see, but all right. So I'm gonna put them on there. Now, I'm not gonna obviously use these for this because it would make it too big. I may just write on with a Sharpie. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in each section yet, and I may just wait until I actually, until I actually identify what's going in each little cubby, maybe. All right, I'm going to stick these down, and that way I can stand this up and show you what we're looking at. All right, so it is not perfect, but, and I'm trying to get it in there. It's not lined up perfectly. The get should be over this way just a little bit. And the crafty should have been as well, but I added the exclamation point to balance that out. But gift is just, or get, not gift, get is just a little bit off. Sorry, it's a little tall to get the whole thing in the picture. So, anyways, what are you thinking? Ugh, maybe if I go this way, I don't know. So hopefully you can see what I'm going for here. I'll show it to you again when it's filled up and has the different sections labeled. Alright, so here we have it in a not very convenient spot for filming, hanging on the wall with some stuff in it. Not real convenient because it's right behind my door, which has craft stuff hanging on it, as you can see. There's stuff everywhere in this studio, but I decided I wasn't going to probably keep the same things in it all the time. I have that sign that says create sitting on top of it. So I just wrote on it like odds and ends, bits and bobs, and this and that. So right now we have some twine and some washi tape in there for an example, and some small craft items for like paper crafting, and some of the large craft sticks there, and some resin molds, and some stuff to mix resin in, and some other crafty things, just to show that it can hold things and, you know, in view so that you can find them. And it's good for tonight, but that's not what's going to be left in there. And I'm not 100% sure that how I have that up is going to be stable, so I don't want anything in there breakable, because I have it put up with some command hooks, and 4 of them, but they don't stick real well to my walls because of the textured like wallpaper. And so here is one to go next to it that has a little bit bigger sections to hold things that I thought could hold things like yarn and stuff like that. It's from M&M's, but it's going to be DIY'd in the same manner. I don't think I need to show you that since I just did one. And then there is this one that has more of a couple of shelves, you know, also that can go up on the wall, but I'm going to have to do some work on it because it's got this. See, it could go this way also because that's the way it was meant to go. It's from Halloween Candy, but I actually want to hang it this way on the wall so I can use it for shelving. So I'm going to have to actually do some building on it to fix that side. And maybe it will go up against this other one. Sorry guys, my studio is a bit of a mess at the moment because I've been doing some videos and I dug a bunch of stuff out and brought a bunch of stuff in. So anyways, I'm thinking that maybe they might go side by side like this, and that will take care of that open spot. See, I just solved my own problem. And then when I cover it with the contact paper, because I'm thinking that because of the gap here, can you see it? if I can, there's like a gap there, but there's also that handle. So, you know, I'm thinking contact paper to take care of that and cover it with a piece of cardboard. Yeah. So making me some storage that costs nothing but the price of the contact paper and some paint. And, so I may paint on the inside a little bit, but then cover the outside of these ones with contact paper. So anyways, just giving you some ideas of things. And you can look around my studio, which is a big honkin' disaster at the moment. So all my DIY stuff that I need to get busy working on. And on the door is a hanger full of more DIY stuff. And next to there is where I will be working with my epoxy resin when I get that spot cleaned back out. It was cleaned out, and then I, like I said, drug stuff out and drug stuff in. And see, that stuff has to find a home. And then when you go across from the door, when you first come in, there's a shelving unit full of DIY stuff. See, my studio is a disaster. But there's what you see, mostly. The flower thing that I made. And all the, yeah. But there's the closet. I mean, like, I am, like, tied in here, guys. The closet has another organizer, and on the other side there's another one, and inside there's tons of more DIY stuff. But here's what you get to see. This little spot right here that is also buried in stuff. And then we have some washi tape on a thing you usually put thread on, and one of my friends made that. Isn't that beautiful? And see, all my stuff. This is where I live when I'm making videos, mostly. Very small, very, very tiny room, about the size of most people's closets, is my studio. So anyways, oh, bad hair day, and it's been a long day. With that, please guys, please give me a big old thumbs up. That would really help my channel. And let me know what you think of my DIY. I know it's pretty simple, but you know, it's just something you could do to keep things out of the landfill and make yourself some cheap storage. Thank you for watching and listening to me babble, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Bye guys. I know this is all over the place, sorry.